Jacqueline Stevenson. I'm the Director of Public Relations for Win Stanley Partners and a freelance writer, and I'm here with my fellow co-organizers for PodCamp Western Mass 3 on February 5th.
Hi, I'm Morris Partee, Chief Experience Officer of Everything CU, and I would love it if you get to come to PodCamp Western Mass.
Hi everyone, Kelly Galanis, the Redheaded Diva and Associate Director of Alumni Relations at Westfield State University. I hope you'll join us as Westfield State hosts PodCamp Western Mass 3. We'll see you then.
Strictly Biz News. I want to thank everyone for coming on today. We have Kelly, we have Morris, we have Jacqueline. Kelly, it's been quite a while since you've been on, so welcome back.
Thank you.
We have two newcomers on today, so welcome Morris and Jacqueline, and you guys know little old Corey. I'm Alfonso, and welcome to the show. So we're going to get right into the hot topics. Oh, by the way, this episode is a strictly PodCamp Western Mass episode, so we'll be talking a lot about social media, and later on you'll know about PodCamp and where it is, how much it's going to cost, and all the fun stuff all about it. So let's get right into the hot topics. First up, LinkedIn is going public. They intend to file for initial public offering within a couple months. The company, whose members include over 85 million business professionals, will file an S1 registration. I don't know what that is, but that's what they're called. That's what it is. They said that the decision was made late of 2010, but I guess this whole thing with Facebook, when they raised $500 million, now they're saying that LinkedIn's just doing it because Facebook raised that much money or they got funding for it. But I mean, I don't know what's the difference between it's going to be going public versus it's the way it is now. It just means that more people are going to be able to throw money at it, or advertising on the site more, or
depends how you look at it.
Yeah. There's a lot of advantages and disadvantages to having an IPO. I mean, one big thing is it'll raise awareness. It gives the company a little bit more prestige. Another thing is that it may be an exit plan for the current owners. We'll have to see.
Hostile takeover, anyone?
Yeah. Well, I heard the advertising on LinkedIn right now isn't as effective if you even advertise on Facebook per se. I haven't personally done it, but I've heard stories where people have not gotten what they want out of it.
It's a very different audience, and there are a lot of business people who are interested in social media but don't want to get involved in Facebook. And those people will stick strictly with LinkedIn. Yeah. So it does have its own place in the social media ecosystem, and that's where one of the people coming to PodCamp is Christine Pilch, and she is such an expert on LinkedIn, and she's going to be doing a session there.
Facebook just launched the BranchOut, which is kind of supposed to be, I guess, rivaling against LinkedIn part, and I mean I played around with it, but like you're only allowed a certain amount of posts or friend requests or something, where I got locked out for 24 hours, which made no sense to me whatsoever.
But you can import your LinkedIn profile, so it's kind of challenging.
I don't understand it. I'm sending friend requests to people I'm already friends with on Facebook. So
good point.
I don't really get, I mean, it's just like a resume to put on Facebook, I guess.
And I feel like it's the latest, sticker that Facebook is putting on their services. When Foursquare started to get big, they immediately jumped onto place-based. And now there's this LinkedIn thing. So it's good and bad because they're kind of reactive, but at the same time, it increasingly makes Facebook that hub of the ecosystem, like you said, and that's what they want to be. They want to be the center of it all with everything feeding in.
Right.
So
It's like Monopoly.
Yeah.
Exactly. The problem is they're changing their systems so frequently that none of us can keep up with it.
I'm giving it a try. I'm not sold at all yet, but we'll see.
Yeah, I've been playing around with it. Just because I want to learn about it really quickly, and I spent maybe 2 hours on it and I got locked out. So yeah. Fail.
Which means I won't be able to do it at
all. Next up, Twitter's long-term vision. They switched over CEOs about a year ago, and the CEO itself a year ago didn't know what the overall plan for Twitter was. And I guess recently at CES, hold on, Corey, do you know what CES is?
No. actually.
It's a conference they had in New York for electronics and things that are coming out for the next coming year.
Okay.
Consumer electronics show.
Yes, and I'm gonna.
I was like, yeah, that's what it is.
I'm like,
I asked Corey because she's so technology not
Impaired?
advanced. Yeah,
No.
impaired. Throwing her right under the bus.
Let's just say it, geek show.
Yeah.
Geek
Yeah,
show.
geek show.
CS geek show.
I'm gonna quote
Like
what
podcast.
the CEO said. There's a plan for Twitter now. He says quote unquote, we want to instantly connect people everywhere to what's important to them. He wanted to expand on saying that Twitter is about connecting people for purpose, not just connecting. Some people use Twitter just to keep up with their girlfriend or boyfriend, or use it as a daily source of news.
Well, the first thing they can do to make it work is not change the system, because I hate the new Twitter.
Really? I like
I
it.
hate it.
What is it
I won't
about that you
switch.
don't like?
I won't switch. I have completely turned it off.
I don't really care about the new Twitter because I do it through
See, I
TweetDeck.
use online
I didn't
all the
feel like
time.
it was that big a change.
I don't like it.
The only thing I don't like about the
Yeah.
new Twitter is the DMs. You don't get the notification.
Yes.
That's the only thing. Other than that, Corey.
and that's it for me on the show today.
I personally like it. I mean, it's.
All right, I'll give it another chance.
Okay.
If you say so.
Well, I mean, you're gonna have to in like a few months. You
know.
have no
I'm
choice.
like,
So.
Well, one of the things that's always amazed me about Twitter, and I think it's great that there's a new CEO, and if I'm not mistaken, that's now the third CEO.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the first CEO, one of the co-founders, I'll never forget seeing a show he did, an interview on PBS or something, where he had Q&A from the audience after having an interview on stage, and one of the first guys gets up and says, you know, I have 17,000 followers and I love what Twitter is, and goes on with this whole question. And the whole time the CEO was thinking, his first response back to this question is, why do you have 17,000 followers? Don't you have a life? And I'm like, wait, you're the CEO of Twitter and you're insulting essentially a power user? You
Yeah.
know, what is up? It's like,
and
okay,
just 'cause he has
talk
that
about
many
Clueless.
doesn't mean he doesn't have a life. He probably does, and they like watching it. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's
That's
Well, it
true.
just goes to show you that there was no strategy there. I mean, that was the problem from the article that I read, because I have no idea what this is, like gibberish to me. But they had no long-term vision. I mean, I get Facebook. Facebook is a relationship builder.
I made her get on Twitter as soon as we started the show. I'm like,
I
get on
don't
Twitter.
like it.
I'm like, people are gonna watch you on there. They're gonna want to follow you or whatever. And she's like, follow me. She's like,
Yeah, I
She
don't
is-
like it.
Yeah.
The Facebook is, yes, we can be friends, and I'm going to share my content, my profile, my information on Facebook with another person, and it's a relationship builder. I don't get the Twitter thing. I just don't. You know, and I'm willing to try things. I just got into Brussels sprouts, loving them. Twitter I don't like it. I don't like
sprouts
it.
win, Twitter fail.
yeah, but you tried Twitter, you didn't like it. You tried LinkedIn, you didn't like it. You're very quick to give up on the social.
Yeah.
Well, I think it just
I tend to
goes
be a
to
lagger
prove
with
that,
these things, you know? It's like
that different
afterwards.
tools work for different people
Yeah.
or not.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
Because there are other people who feel exactly the opposite way. They love Twitter
Right.
and Facebook not so much.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, I thought you had to say something. I'm like,
Yeah,
we're not
no.
in school.
If Facebook went away tomorrow, I don't know how upset I'd be.
I-
I'd lose a lot of contacts, but
Yeah, honestly, I gotta say, the last month or so, I've been really enjoying LinkedIn more than Facebook. Just because I don't know if it's because the people I'm friends with on Facebook are still posting pictures from. You're not in college anymore. Stop posting those pictures. But like on
Make sure
LinkedIn,
you
it's
tag yourself.
yeah. Well, no, it's not me. It's just like my friends in college. You're almost 30. Like, grow up.
Yeah.
But like LinkedIn is really good. Like it's just like more like I'm still posting the same information on Facebook. I'm not dealing with the
Right.
BS of the feed.
we'll talk about that. The Facebook, the changes that they make and how they always, they're so erratic and you
used
never
to it
know when
and
they're
then it
coming.
changes
LinkedIn, I think, has done it differently, where it's been a little bit more planned out and gradual.
Yeah.
And for me, anyway, all the changes that they made have been effective.
Yeah.
Now I can see who's looking at my profile, not just an account executive in Springfield. It
Yeah.
says, Debbie Smith, and that's
Yeah.
valuable to me.
Exactly.
Each platform has its own purpose, and like you said, each person has a liking for whatever platform it is. So I'm going to stick to my guns and not like Twitter.
Okay. All right. Well, next up,
Twitter is
Samsung created a tweeting fridge. They again at CES they we're showing off this, and I picked this one because it's kind of funny. I think this has taken the whole social media and everything to a whole new level where it's going to be tweeting. It has Pandora on it, has Google Calendar, has Wi-Fi refrigerator access. It's nuts.
Wi-Fi refrigerator access.
Well,
Now,
I mean,
see,
it's
I thought I was like on the cutting edge because my refrigerator has a little screen and little polar bears come and tell me when I'm getting ice and all that stuff, and I could put my USB in there, but I certainly cannot tweet. So
yeah. Well, I mean,
I'm
it's all
feeling out of the
the screen is all touch screen. I
Right.
sat through the video, and it's really cool. The calendar I get because instead of posting magnets on the fridge, you can set up the calendar for your family and everything like that. The tweeting, I'm not too sure. I don't know why you need to tweet from I'm walking to the fridge.
just ate some pickles.
That's my
Yeah.
immediate question. Is it going to say, like, you open it up and get something and you're going to be
Yeah, it's like,
Vitajex just had a Ovaltine.
Alfonso checked in at the fridge like
There goes that
5
shit.
times a day. Like, thank you.
That might make me stop going to the fridge.
Yeah.
Well, the funny thing is,
Broadcasting what you're getting.
well, when I first saw the headline of the article, it's like, yeah, actually, what I thought was that the fridge would tweet at you, like, your ice is now ready.
Yeah.
Or you've just run out of milk, you might want to go to the store. I mean, imagine.
That's
if,
good.
Yeah,
That is
exactly. And in
they
that
did
case,
it
that
backwards.
fridge falls into a line of other things that have tweeted. One of the very first early bizarre things that tweeted were plants. They would say, "I'm thirsty, please water me," and then you'd water it, because I had a
never knew that.
hydrometer.
I've never heard of a
you
Twitter
can
plant.
actually buy a
my
device
God.
that will connect this. You put it in the plant soil, and then the plant will tweet at you if it's too dry or needs watering or has too much water.
Wow, I really need to catch up on that.
Even
No
your
idea
cat
that.
could tweet and be like, I can't believe you didn't give me any food,
well,
you're such a jerk.
well, bringing you that, Sockington is one of the most popular characters on
Yes,
Twitter
he
with
is.
over like 2 million followers,
Yep.
and Sockington is hilarious.
He is, I follow Sockington.
Who's
He's a cat.
Sockington the cat.
He's Jason
tweets.
Scott's cat, and he has a Twitter account,
He is funny.
and he is funny. He gets upset when he can't find his shaky mouse. It's hilarious.
Well, they said something in this article I thought was kind of stupid. If you want to check the temperature outside before you send your kids off to school in 10-degree weather without their coats, what kind of parent would send their kids out in 10-degree weather without their coat on? Like, I'm not a genius, but when I see snow, I put a coat on. Like, come on.
Just checking.
Yeah, it's
Extra
gonna.
precaution.
It's like how some of the drawers now, like you can see when it's like raining. If it rains outside, it comes out on your phone that's raining. If that fridge like it's snowing, it means put your coat on. All right. Well,
This is where their marketers just need to stick to the facts.
Yeah. No, don't elaborate with
And
this.
outside temperature, that's a nice thing to check from your kitchen.
Yeah, I mean it's good, but I mean if
Yeah.
if you know it's 10 degrees,
But
like,
if the white stuff's coming down, put it on. You make a point.
Next up, Klout receives $8.5 million in funding. It's a social media analytics service. Altogether, they've gotten over $10 million to date. The funding started back in April. It's based out of San Francisco, and they had a slew of companies that funded them. I think it's good. I mean, right now,
Can we time out for a second? Why
No.
don't we explain it to those people who don't know what Klout is?
you.
Okay. So and
It's a social media
it's-
analytics.
right, but it gives you a score, and the score is a representation, and I'm going to quote, of how successful a person is at engaging their audience and how big of an impact their messages have on people.
So you're at negative what?
Continue.
And is it just Twitter that it's rates?
I
I always
think
thought
it's
it was just Twitter.
Actually,
the most non-social media person here
I
right
had
now.
to do my research to know what we were talking about today. So Klout uses
sorry,
over
this is awesome.
35 variables on Facebook and Twitter to measure the true reach, amplification, probability, and the network score. So to answer your question, it's Facebook and Twitter.
I did not know that. So
That's new, I think.
If I could have done all this without my cheat sheet, you guys would have thought I was like brilliant. You're like, who is this checking? Why isn't she coming to pod camp?
I think this is good because I mean, in the social media and in the marketing aspect, the return of interest has been kind of hard to measure per se. With this and the advances they'll make with the money that they have and the advances they could do with it, I think it's definitely going to help
Well,
kind of measure?
help what? I mean, that's the whole. I've actually been always very skeptical of Klout and anything like that. Because you could have 3 followers, and if they're the president of the United States and the House of Representatives majority leader and the head of the CIA, you have extreme influence, even though it's 3 people.
Right.
So. Who knows what numbers, they're
how they
crunching and
how they calculate
because the other thing about scores and metrics and all that is like the more complicated it has to be to get to the result, the more suspect of does this have actual meaning. My score is 55. Woohoo! 55 what?
Out of what?
Right.
Yeah.
I'm 55 out of 100. I can get 45 more.
Hold on, let's ask the researcher, Corey.
Oh, what they were saying was they believe that the influence is the ability to drive people to create an action. So what you're saying is even if you have the 3 people, you would think that you would get a better score because it's driving people to create more action. But I find it hard to believe that if the president of the United States is friends with somebody, then everybody else is going to be friends with that person too.
Well, right.
I mean,
well,
I get,
see,
in
right,
retrospect,
and
I
the
get
whole
what you're
thing
saying.
is the action that they can only measure actions that happen via social media. Like if your goal is, and you're say you're the VP of marketing for your company, and your goal is to get people to buy more product.
Right.
That's not getting measured via Klout.
No.
It's just retweets.
It's numbers. Yeah.
Yeah. So it can only go so far to me.
Does it cost money to get your Klout score?
No.
Okay.
It's just you log in and they ask you to verify to go in through the account and to give it to
of course, with my rant, there goes Klout as a potential sponsor of PodCamp.
Yeah.
We love you, Klout.
Yeah.
Come on down.
Speaking of PodCamp,
explain.
We'll be right back and we'll give you guys more information on PodCamp. Welcome back to the show. I'm here with 3 of the organizers from PodCamp, Kelly, Morris, and Jacqueline. You guys met them last round, obviously. So guys, what is PodCamp? Who wants to say it?
We're going to defer to Morris there.
Sure. Well, the short answer is that PodCamp is an unconference about social media.
Okay. And who goes to PodCamp, or who is it for?
Anybody who wants to learn more about social media, or people who have a lot of knowledge who want to share it with other folks, people who are interested, people who are questioning about social media. It's really a chance for anyone to be heard, to share what they know.
Okay. So this was a strictly PodCamp Western Mass episode, and the next one will be February 5th. So where is it going to be so the viewers can know if they want to?
I'll take that one.
Okay.
It's going to be right here on the campus of Westfield State University in beautiful, picturesque Westfield, Massachusetts. For anyone who is interested, you can visit pcwm.eventbrite.com to register, and it is only $25 a person, which is a complete steal. May I tell my story of PodCamp? Please,
Yes,
first
please.
story. Okay.
Yes.
So if you're someone watching this and questioning, should I come? I don't know enough about social media. 2 years ago, PodCamp 1 began, PodCamp Western Mass 1, and actually it was a post from Jacqueline that I saw on Facebook that said, hey everyone, come to PodCamp. And I said to my husband, what is this PodCamp? Do you want to go to this? It sounds very interesting. It was what they called an unconference, and it was something that was, I really didn't know, but I liked social media. I wasn't too into it yet, and I said, let's just go. It's a reasonable price. Let's spend the Saturday. So it was really more giving up our Saturday to come. That was the caveat. We had just gotten back from our vacation to Florida, so we're kind of like, I don't know, but we decided let's just go. So I have been to a number of conferences. My school puts on elaborate conferences where you get the fancy posters, the main speakers, the goodie bags, all of that. So I was very used to that. I pull up to Open Square in Holyoke, which, if you have never been, it is a mill building. It's a beautiful historic mill building, and we're like looking around for the sign. Where is the sign? There's a sticky note on the door, and it says in marker, camp. So we look at each other and we're like, okay. So up we go. Most welcoming group I have ever met in my life. People were so happy to see us. Oh, I think it was Marissa. You're the couple. Great, come on in. Make yourselves at home. And we quickly realized that it was really much more of a learning environment. It was a collaboration. It wasn't about, I'm going to stand here and tell you everything I know because I'm important and that's how it works. It's, oh, you know about that? Could you tell us a little more? We ended up, my husband actually ended up doing a session that day on I think, Google Analytics or something like that. And we attended so many things, and I've never learned so much in my entire life. And I have been to some conferences with big keynote speakers, and this was the best thing I've ever attended. So if you're questioning it, come.
Last year was my first year.
Yes, it was.
And when I went, Julianne was looking for me through the whole day, and I couldn't go until the second half of the day. Julianne, hi, by the way. I walked in. You were the first person I saw, and you're like, "There's this woman looking for you." I don't think you knew it was Julianne at the moment. She was, I don't know who she is, but she was looking for you. I'm like, who the hell is looking for me? Like, well, and then I run into Leslie, and I'm like, oh, this is the woman that was looking for me. I'm like, hi, Leslie, nice to finally meet you, everything. And then I hear these doors like, Alfonso? I'm like, yeah. It was Julianne. She's like, I've been looking for you all day. Leslie beat me to it. I'm like, hi. I was like scared for a minute, but it was great. I mean, I was only there for the second half of the day, and I met all you guys, which was awesome, and I met so many other people that I converse with through social media, but I've never met in person, and I actually learned a lot more than I thought I was going to, and I'm excited for this round because I think between last year and this year, the people in Western Mass, I think it's almost double. Yeah. From what I remember, like joining on last year and really getting into it, and then the amount of people this year. So I'm hoping you guys really come because it's.
Well, that's a big part of it too. Is just the chance for so many people who know each other via Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn to actually get together and talk with each other.
Yeah.
The PodCamp Western Mass started right or just after Jason Turcott started putting together Western Mass tweet-ups. So that was where we were first getting together in a casual, social kind of environment. And it's like, great to meet you, Alfonso.
Yeah, not the awkward silence. It's like, hey.
Oh, yeah, you pick up conversations right in
like,
the middle.
All right, let me look in your eyes until one of us says something.
This is the place to actually put those ideas in motion and learn from
put the
each
human
other.
back in the interaction.
Yes,
exactly.
Social media.
And I'm glad that you're excited for this year because the topics that are being submitted are just amazing.
Yeah.
Aside from like Christine Pilch doing a session on Facebook privacy, there's a guy who did a session at PodCamp Boston just this past September. Web 3.0, the wave after social, he's coming out to here just to do a session on that.
Wow.
So there's just a lot of great sessions that are going to be happening.
And there are 101s too. There's like a Twitter 101. Typically, we create the agenda on the day of. That's one of the democratic pieces of it. But there's generally a Twitter 101, a Facebook 101, a LinkedIn 101 where no one is safe. I can attest to that from last year.
You're so not safe.
You're so not safe. But I mean, it's and that's I think you hear a word like PodCamp and it sounds so bizarre and it can turn people off if you don't have an understanding or don't
try to
or don't feel like you have an understanding. Maybe you do and you just don't feel like you're at this PodCamp level. But it's definitely for students, business owners, as well as social med geeks like us. We can all take something away from it.
And I mean, last year there were sessions even growing, like baby sessions were coming out of the big sessions, and people would just do little roundtables and have conversations, and if that's the way they want to learn, that's great too. We accept all forms. So.
By the way, Biz News will be doing a special event during PodCamp. Obviously, it'll be a surprise. So when you guys go, look out because Biz News will be there doing a special event for everyone. But where's the website? Where can they get more information? Where can they register for tickets?
The main event page, actually, Turan Burrell from Western Mass Biz created a set of pages just for PodCamp. So that's podcamp.westernma.biz. And then it goes to the Eventbrite page, which is pcwm.eventbrite.com. There's a Facebook group, so you can just do a search on Facebook for PodCamp Western Mass. This is the 3rd edition, so.
And if you Google PodCamp Western Mass, you'll find all these links. So.
If you're a Twitter fan, you can do hashtag PCWM, and you'll get all the running news and us chit-chatting about what we want to do.
And there's a LinkedIn group, too.
There is a LinkedIn group.
And some other really neat things that we're going to try for the first time this year is that we're going to have a band the night before PodCamp.
That's right.
At the Westwood. That's going to be the Jeff Michaels Band. He's going to be bringing his band out from the Boston area. And then, of course, we're also going to have a tweet up 1 week. Well, I don't know when you're going to air, but right, the 21st.
The 21st, January
Westwood.
21st.
A week from tomorrow.
At the Westwood. That'll be sort of a
It would actually
Western
be,
Mass tweet up.
when this airs, it will be this Friday.
Perfect.
And I know you guys, really quick, but you're talking about, we just launched the whole sponsors. You guys want to say something real quick if you guys are looking for sponsors for it too?
We are looking for sponsors, and I think that our sponsorships are pretty reasonable. I mean, talk about a steal and a lot of really great exposure. There's we started about $100. That's if you want to be a happy camper for $100. All your
I'm a happy camper.
Exactly. your company or individual name will be in all of our press materials that are going out, and part of the ongoing conversation. And then as the levels go up, you can be on our T-shirts, which are interactive. They have QR codes on them, so you can actually scan the T-shirts. We launched those last year. And you can have your name or your logo on the T-shirt. And we're also looking for a grill master to sponsor our lunch. So lunch for 150 people, about $1,500 value we wager. Beverages and food, so if there's any intrepid restaurateurs out there that want to get their PodCamp on, we would welcome you.
All right. Guys, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back. I want to thank everyone for coming on today. We had such a good episode today.
I learned a lot today. I actually don't even know why I was on because you picked topics that I had no clue about.
I know, it was
but
so
now,
funny.
Now I can go home and tell all my family and friends.
But you still don't know how to use social media.
No, but I can tell them about it.
Yeah. Again, thank you for everyone for watching. Thank you for the guests for coming on. Make sure you do check out PodCamp Western Mass, and we'll see you guys there.
And don't forget about our live show.
Yes, this Tuesday at Majestic Theater.
January 18th.
January 18th. I know it's airing Sunday.
Okay, so this Tuesday.
This Tuesday, 5:30, Majestic Theater, networking event right after, and make sure you go to PodCamp because we will be doing a special event there too.
Be there or be square.